Kazuya had just finished fighting with his best friend. Then he looked over. His friend was talking to Chizuru. Kazuya froze. Did his friend like Chizuru too? He quietly hid nearby and started listening. That's when he realized he had it all wrong. His friend wasn't trying to steal his girlfriend. He was trying to save their relationship. He looked at Chizuru and said, "Kazuya may be awkward. He isn't good with words, but he truly cares about you. Please give him one more chance." Then he pulled out 2 sightseeing cruise tickets. He wanted to give them a chance to be alone. Watching from the side, Kazuya was deeply moved. He couldn't hold back his tears. Chizuru couldn't refuse such a sincere favor. So the two boarded the cruise. But Chizuru already had a cold, and she also got seasick. Her condition kept getting worse. Just then Mommy called. She asked Kazuya to meet her at the pool. One phone call left him torn. Meanwhile, Chizuru couldn't take it anymore. She walked out to the deck alone, hoping the fresh air would help. But suddenly, the boat rocked hard. Chizuru lost her balance and fell into the water. The moment Kazuya heard the screams, he didn't hesitate. He jumped in without a second thought. At that moment, he finally realized what Chizuru really meant to him. She was no longer just a rental girlfriend. She was the one he would risk everything to protect.
マミちゃん、昨日のことなんだけど。そりゃ嫌われても仕方ねえか。
Kazuya and Chizuru boarded a sightseeing boat together. Chizuru was already sick. She also got seasick. She could barely stay on her feet. While Kazuya was taking care of her, his phone suddenly rang. The caller was his ex-girlfriend, Mommy. Mommy said she was waiting alone at the pool. She wanted him to come see her. Kazuya hesitated for a moment. At the same time, Chizuru walked onto the deck by herself. She lost her balance and fell straight into the ocean. Without thinking, Kazuya jumped in after her. Mommy was left waiting. She got completely stood up. When Chizuru finally woke up, she found herself stranded on a small island with Kazuya. But Kazuya was lying motionless on the beach. She kept shaking him. She kept calling his name. There was no response. No one else was around. There was no phone signal. Chizuru started to panic. She thought Kazuya had died. With tears in her eyes, she began performing CPR. She kept pressing on his chest. Still nothing happened. With no other choice, she gathered her courage and gave him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. The next second, Kazuya suddenly opened his eyes. He looked completely fine when he realized how close Chizuru was. He instantly understood what had happened. He thought this was the perfect chance. Just as he leaned in to kiss her back, the rescue team suddenly arrived. The moment was ruined. Before either of them could explain, the rescuers rushed over and immediately started scolding them. Neither of them could get a single word in.
やば、こりゃ相当溜まって。
That was the moment finally understood his own feelings. He realized he had truly fallen for Chizuru. Even when he was home alone, she was the only person on his mind. The next day, they ran into each other at school, but Chizuru kept avoiding him. Just then, his grandmother was discharged from the hospital. To celebrate, she decided to take everyone to a hot spring. Kazuya had no choice but to go with her. When they arrived, he realized something was off. His grandmother had also invited Chizuru's grandmother. It was obvious the two grandmothers were trying to set them up again to create some alone time. They had already planned everything. They claimed there was only one luxury room left, so Kazuya was given a different room. He unlocked the door and stepped inside. The room was a complete mess. It looked like Simone was already staying there. As he stood there confused, the bathroom door suddenly opened. Chizuru walked out wearing a yukata. The two of them froze on the spot. Only then did they realize the truth. Everything had been arranged by their grandmothers. But there was nothing they could do. After all, pretending to be a couple was a lie they had created themselves.
水原の浴衣姿パネー。こんなこと、一晩二人っきりなんて身が。
Kazuya and Chizuru were assigned to the same room by their grandmothers. That night, a new problem appeared. A man and a woman sharing one room. How were they supposed to sleep? Kazuya didn't hesitate. He grabbed his blanket and headed for the door. planning to sleep outside, but just as he reached the exit, Chizuru stopped him. She calmly told him he didn't have to leave. He could sleep in the room. The moment he heard that, his heart started racing. Part of him was excited, but he didn't have the courage. Chizuru saw right through him. One look at his guilty face was enough. She kicked him without hesitation. Kazuya instantly behaved himself. The two finally lay down on opposite sides of the room, but Kazuya couldn't fall asleep. His mind kept replaying everything that happened on the deserted island, and every moment Chizuru had been there for him. The more he thought about it, the more certain he became. He had truly fallen for her. After struggling for a long time, he finally gathered the courage to speak. He admitted that he had been pathetic and had made plenty of mistakes. But from now on, he wanted to change. He wanted to become someone she could rely on, and he wanted to stay by her side. When he finished speaking, the room fell silent. After a long pause, Chizuru finally answered. Since they had already lied to their grandmothers, they should end it in a way that wouldn't hurt them. Hearing those words, Kazuya's emotions became complicated. Kazuya was walking down the street. Suddenly, a girl in a JK school uniform ran straight into him. Before he could react, she made a funny face at him, then took off running. The next day, Kazuya brought Chizuru to meet his best friend, Kibi. To his surprise, Kibi's girlfriend was the same girl who had bumped into him yesterday, but today, she looked completely different. After dressing up, she looked stunning, like a top-tier goddess. Soon after, the four of them headed to an indoor climbing gym. Kazuya had no interest in rock climbing until he saw Chizuru start climbing. He couldn't look away. She moved with perfect balance, and her figure made the moment even more impressive. Kazuya was completely mesmerized. Even Kibi couldn't stop praising her. A moment later, Kibi took his turn. He climbed with confidence and impressed both girls. That's when Kazuya realized Kai didn't win over such an amazing girlfriend by luck alone. Then it was Kazuya's turn. Things went very differently. He slipped again and again and failed every attempt. During a break, Kazuya finally asked Kibi how he managed to date someone so beautiful. Kibi answered seriously. There was only one secret: confidence and the aura of a fearless leading man. After hearing that, Kazuya couldn't help questioning himself, because that kind of confidence was something he had never had. While he was feeling down, Chizuru walked over. She noticed his expression, then handed him the drink she had already been sipping. She asked if he wanted it. Kazuya didn't hesitate. He grabbed it and took a drink. At that moment, one thought crossed his mind. Did that count as an indirect kiss? A little later, Chizuru and Ruka went to the restroom together. But on the way, Ruka suddenly spoke up. One sentence made Chizuru freeze. It sounded like Ruka had already figured out that Kazuya and Chizuru were only pretending to be a couple. Even so, Chizuru stayed calm. She smiled and denied everything, but judging by the look in Ruka's eyes, she had probably already found the proof.